Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Multiverse Matchups. Today we have a very interesting one, and I'm curious to see how we are gonna break this down. Because some of these, real quick, before I get deep into this, some of these I haven't even decided quite yet on who is gonna win. I make my notes, and as I go through them, sometimes I don't have like a preset person that I've already chosen to win. Sometimes I'm literally just talking it out as I'm talking for the pod or for the show. And I make my conclusions after I've gone through all the notes in detail, fresh, back to back. And then I give my hypotheses for some of them. Some of them, it's not even close. Like the Flash Quicksilver, before I even put the notes, I'm gonna be honest with you. Quicksilver not touching the Flash. Quicksilver is not touching the Flash. If you don't believe me, just look up the Flash's, just look up his stuff. Look up his history. He's created universes. He travels between dimensions. He time travels at free will. The most time travel the Quicksilver has done is gone in the future by 2 hours, and he was boosted. Flash did it off of pure just writing power. He can just at will go between dimensions. Speed Force. He can just take Quicksilver speed. Anyway, that was episode 1. We're gonna get straight into it. It's Beast versus Beast Boy. When I put this matchup, I thought, that might be pretty evenly matched. Maybe. We'll see. So let's get straight into it. First, we're gonna go with Beast. Everybody knows Beast, the big blue genius. Height 5'11", weighs a whopping 402 pounds. Power type mutant. So, strength 75, speed 70, agility, flexibility 95, which is very impressive for how big he is. He's very agile, which is a benefit on his end. Durability 75, stamina 85. A weird thing about Beast, even though he is a mutant and has this like mutated form, his healing factor is 20. He has regular human healing, which will in turn kind of be like one of his weaknesses. Longevity 80. He slows his aging because of his mutant abilities. Combat 85. Intelligence is 100. Believe it or not, he is a super genius. His science or his geniusness is rival to that of Reed Richards and Tony Stark, which are considered two of the smartest people in all of Marvel. Overall grade 76. Notable and unique powers and abilities. Obviously, superhuman physiology because he's Beast. He's super strong. Enhanced agility, Olympic level acrobatics amplified by his mutation, which again is a huge benefit to him because of how big and strong he is. He's also just as agile or close to the agileness of like a Daredevil or a Spider-Man. Animal instincts, again, heightened instincts, genius level intellect and medicine, martial arts training, and obviously leadership, being the longtime X-Men member and strategist. Some strong feats. He's lifted a tank and threw it during combat. Fought Spider-Man evenly using agility and tactics, which is pretty impressive for how big he is. Held his own against Wolverine, outmaneuvering his berserk ferocity. So again, fighting against some heavy hitters in Wolverine. Survived Sentinel level attacks, also kind of showing his durability. And invented cures and advanced tech, solving mutated related crisis. And for his tier placement, we're going to put him at city level. Yeah, we'll go. He's at city level when he's not holding back. He could be at a city level, especially in groups. But I would put him lower city level for him, probably lower city level when he's not holding back. He could be an absolute problem. Next, we have Beast Boy, which his grading skill is very interesting, and you guys probably already know why, and we'll get into that. But his grading skill is very interesting, and a lot of stuff is hinged on his creativity in battle. So, Beast Boy, Garfield Logan. Oh, did I not say Beast is, I guess that's not important. Beast Boy, Garfield Logan, 5'8". Again, that changes with transformation. Weight 150. Again, that changes with his transformation. Power type, metahuman, shape-shifting / animal mimicry. Strength, 85 out of 100. Again, for his grading, all of it is going to change depending on what animal he chooses. But the grade is for his overall like average. If his average, because obviously he could be a lion, he could be a tiger, he could be a dinosaur. He can shapeshift into any animal, dead or alive. And I think he just has to see the animal to transform into it. So it could be a picture of it and he could transform into it. Anyway, speed, 85. Agility, flexibility, 90. Durability, 85. Heavily depends on his transformation. Stamina, 90. Healing factor, 20. Now, I will say this, a note with the healing factor. He has the standard healing factor of a human, but if he transforms into a healthy animal, it can mitigate some of the injury. So it's like if he gets hurt in his normal human form or humanoid form and switches into a panther, that panther's not hurt. So he's fine when he's in that panther form, but when he reverts back to his human form, he hasn't healed. He's still hurt, if that makes sense. So it's almost like he gets a new bar of HP when he transforms into a healthier form. So there is a way to kind of mitigate or like loophole that whole healing factor thing. Longevity, 85. Combat, 80. Intelligence, 75. Overall grade, 83. Notable powers and abilities. Again, animal shapeshifting can transform into any animal he's seen or studied, earthly or alien. So again, seen or studied, and it can be earthly or alien. Doesn't matter. Size, scale variation. Obviously, he can go from an insect all the way up to a dinosaur-sized animal. Enhanced senses, and that's even at his normal form. He can smell. His hearing is just as good as a dog. His smelling is just as good as a dog. His eyes are just as good as a cat's. However, or eagle, he's got all of the animal instincts and senses, even in his regular form. Flight and aquatic form, so he can obviously fly using birds and things like that, and also whales and go underwater and be a fish. Alien animal forms, so he can adapt to extraterrestrial creatures, and the healing mitigations if he transforms to a healthy animal or healthy form. Now, what I'm actually interested in, I'd be curious if Beast Boy can mimic aliens and Superman is an alien. If there was a crossover, could Beast Boy turn into Superman, and would he have Superman level powers or strength? That'd be a curious question. I might have to do some research. I don't know if anybody's ever, I'm sure somebody on Reddit has posted it. Reddit is like, you can go there for anything. But I'm curious, like if he were to turn into, or I guess in the same, yeah, well, I guess Beast Boy is DC. Could he transform into Superman? Because Superman's an alien. He's from a different planet. Or Thor. If crossover Marvel, could he transform into Thor? And if he transforms into Thor, could he wield the hammer? Because Thor is an alien. Interesting. But anyway, let's keep on going into his feats. Transformed. Oh. Well, I completely forgot I put this in my notes. But transformed into a Kryptonian animal gaining superhuman tier strength. But I wonder if he could transform into Superman. Because Superman is an alien himself. He's transformed into a Kryptonian. I believe he transformed into a dog. Because he transformed into Crypto the dog. But I wonder if he could actually just transform into Superman. Anyway, they probably wouldn't allow that because it'd be kind of broken. But like the writers. But anyway, turned to a massive alien kaiju fighting city level threats head on. Became a swarm of insects, overwhelming enemies in sheer numbers. Shapeshifted mid-battle to counter enemies. So shark versus aquatic foes, falcon versus flying enemies. And momentarily rivaled Trigon's demonic beast, providing multiversal scaling potential. So again, it comes down to his creativity, because being able to rival Trigon is a huge deal. Trigon is on the same level as like Dormammu, if you're more of like a Marvel type of guy or gal. So Dormammu, who rules the dark dimension, is a universal level threat in the dark. He has his own dimension. He dominates his domain. Trigon is kind of like that in DC, and being able to rival that, because again, it's a beast form. So really, if he fights any type of beast and or technically humans are animals, but if he fights any other beast or alien type of beast, he could pretty much transform into them and use their own powers against them. So like, could he transform into a Galactus? Now I have more questions than going into this than I thought I would have. But anyway, let's not think too deep. But these are like pretty good questions. So placement tier, again, his tier is a wide range because it can go anywhere from street level if he's a cat, all the way up to planetary if he transforms into an alien or a kaiju, some monstrous powerful alien. He could be a planetary threat. So it really scales widely. So now when we're talking about matchups, let's just go over the different attributes, the different attribute categories. So in strength, Beast Boy is going to get the edge in strength because he can scale his strength up. When we talk about speed, again, Beast Boy is going to get the speed because he can transform into what he needs for speed. Now for the agility, it's pretty even, but I'm going to give agility to Beast because Beast doesn't have to transform into a more agile animal or more agile form to become more agile. Beast is just naturally agile how he is. He doesn't need to transform into that, because if Beast Boy is, let's say he's transformed into an elephant and he's really upped his strength, whatever he transforms into, something else is lacking, like an animal. So elephants, even though their durability and their strength is going to be higher on the scaling, his agility is going to severely drop to a very low number. So if he wants to become more agile, he switches to a lion, a cat, an insect, maybe something like that, to achieve better agility. Beast doesn't have to do that. So we're going to give it to Beast. Durability, of course, Beast Boy can turn into a dinosaur and take on massive amounts of damage. Stamina is pretty even. Healing factor, we'll just say healing factor is even though there's a way for Beast Boy to kind of loophole it. Longevity, it's whatever, it doesn't really matter. Combat skills, obviously Beast is way better in hand-to-hand combat because he doesn't rely on any transformations to be in combat. It's pure, Beast is just pure hands with it, straight up fighting. Beast Boy relies on his transformations. For intellect, obviously Beast, no questions there. And versatility, obviously it's Beast Boy. So when it comes down to overall, all in all, in most scenarios out of 10, I'm going to say Beast Boy probably wins 8 out of 10. No, you know what? I'll go 7 out of 10 because I think Beast is so smart. I think he'll find ways to get Beast Boy to change into a form that puts Beast as an advantage. If Beast Boy is in a T-Rex form and it's too much for the Beast or it's overwhelming him, I think he will find a way to get Beast Boy to turn into a different animal, somehow force him to turn into a different animal that needs to be more agile. So, and Beast, I think, will take advantage of that. If Beast can get Beast Boy to shapeshift into an animal that requires more agility, which is usually smaller animals and or insects, with Beast being so agile as is and his strength being significantly higher, because if Beast Boy changes into, I'm trying to think of an animal that's super, super agile. Let's just say a lion, right? Beast is significantly stronger than a lion. The Beast can lift 10 tons. He's super strong, okay? So in that lion form, his strength's gonna go from 90 to 75, so his agility can keep up with, or his agility can be better. Now that Beast has his strength, has Beast Boy's strength down to 75, Beast can take advantage of that because he's just as agile as any animal that Beast Boy can transform into. So that would give Beast an advantage. So I can see I can see seven times out of 10, Beast Boy winning, and Beast taking advantage of, if he can get him in those situations, he could probably get an advantage and have Beast Boy slipping up. But I do think in most scenarios overall, it's going to go to Beast Boy. I think earlier on, if it's probably going to start close combat, and then when Beast Boy realizes, which Beast Boy rarely fights in his regular form, but let's just say to give Beast an advantage, he starts off trying to fight without transforming in his base form. Hand-to-hand combat, Beast Boy is going to be outclassed immediately. Then he's going to start switching to animals. At first, I think Beast is going to keep up because Beast Boy is probably going to start switching to like mid-sized animals, dogs, lions, tigers, things like that. Things that Beast can still keep up with, but now his strength is becoming less of a factor, or the difference in strength is starting to become smaller. And then I think eventually once Beast Boy realizes that he's starting to keep up, but he needs to up his strength, is when he'll transform into a large, dominant animal, and or probably an alien form to have power and agility, some crazy alien form. And I think that's when Beast will be overtaken with too much power, and Beast Boy can get the dub. So most scenarios, Beast Boy is winning. His ceiling's higher. His every attribute scale, except for healing factor, every attribute scales up to a large point. And so 7 times out of 10, we're going to give it to Beast Boy. 7 times out of 10, we're going to give it to Beast Boy. So let me know what you guys think. Who do you think would win, and what scenario are they winning in? Again, if you want to leave a suggestion for a matchup you want to see, leave it in the comments. Go ahead and subscribe. That will automatically get you entered in the subscriber giveaway as well. And we will catch you guys next time on Multiverse Matchups.